Okay, now, I don't know if you're like me, but I know I am. So, do you guys like beat up on yourselves and like tons of guilt and self-loathing when somebody asks you to do something and you just can't seem to get it done? Well, yeah. So, Kristen left a comment. Hi, Jim. 999 has left the building. Yahoo. Boop-a-doop. We'll talk about that in a second. All right. That's on my list. I just did a cartwheel. Well, Kristen, be careful. Don't do it in the house. We don't want you in urgent care. Do it outside or something in California, whatever. We're in snow and ice here. I hope we get to see you again before Christmas. Pretty please. Aw. Science. Well, so Christmas Day was today is Saturday, so Friday, Thursday. So Thursday, I'm beating myself up all day, thinking, "Oh shoot, I didn't get a video out before Christmas for Kristen." So I was just exhausted, from all the guilt and shame that I felt on Christmas Day. So I went to bed at 5 o'clock, Christmas Day night. Woke up at midnight, couldn't get back to sleep. So I'm just like, oh, well, maybe I should try to do that video for Kristen then. So I got up. It's midnight. I spent hours shooting and editing, and I had the video is done. So I finally took a nap at 6 a.m. because I had to be at work at 8. So I just needed a quick, well, no, this was this was Friday. Yeah, Friday morning. So I had to work on Friday. So I'm up at midnight Friday, well, you do the math. So I got the video done and I'm doing my final QA, quality assurance. I'm going through it and I'm like, well, this is just dumb. I go off on tangents about selling my motorcycle and downsizing and I don't know, just not stuff that's on here. I got through one thing on my list. And so I'm like, so I got to do it over again. So it's Saturday. So this is attempt number 2. You're welcome, Kristen. I'll get this out, before New Year's. This might be the New Year's Eve special. I don't know. So anyway, all the guilt, during Christmas Day, I just, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It was fine. I know some of you had kind of a rough Christmas holiday. You left comments and I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah, it sucks for, different reasons. And so, yeah, my heart goes out to you. You know that, but I was just lazy. I didn't do a darn thing. I didn't even do my green bean casserole like like I told you I was gonna do. So yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about it. How the holidays just don't feel like the same when we were kids. So yeah, so let's go do something else other than this long intro. How about that? Okay, let's go. Okay. First of all, right out of the gate. Yeah, right out of the gate. If you're new here, welcome. How did you find me? Did I pop up on your feed or I don't know. How did you get here? I don't know, but welcome. Uh, this channel is probably unlike anything you've ever seen before. You think? So you guys, my normal viewers, I asked a question in that last video that I ended up putting out in my big garbage container that I drag out on the curb. I tossed it digitally speaking. But I asked you guys, Do I need to explain everything that's going on here for like people that are dropping in? Every video, do I need to explain? Well, yeah, I've got big solar panels in my dining room that are going on my trailer eventually, and I've got all this, electrical. I've got big batteries, for the solar system for my camper and all that. Do I? And I'm a cancer survivor, and do I need to explain all of that? Every video for anybody dropping in. So, but yeah. So if you're, in a nutshell, that's my story. So yes, I live alone. Can you tell? Honey, I thought you were gonna never mind. So yeah, and we'll talk about subscribers in a second. But yeah, so by the way, one of you asked in a comment, and I can't remember who it was. I don't have it up here, but one of you asked, "What's in your stocking?" And so it's just the cover for that piece of equipment sitting right there. It's technical, but if you really want to know, inquiring minds want to know. It's called the Victron Lynx distributor. It's where all the batteries and everything gets hooked up, and it just makes it nice and clean. And anyway, so if you're new here, geez, grab a cocktail. Just to let you know, I am best consumed in small doses. Just so you know. So like watch 5 minutes and then go do something and come back, Otherwise you'll end up in therapy. So, all right, let's do number one. All right, let's do that. Okay, so, age is just a number, right? False. Age is a word. That's from The Office, I think. But a fun thing happened. I went to the mailbox, excuse me, and I got a new Christmas present. I got the renewal card for my anyone? And in the previous video that ended up on the curb, I talked about how the only reason that I did this was so I could put it on my motorcycle. And I told the story a long time ago. I was in the left-hand turn lane, and a group of Harleys pulled up behind me, and they're laughing, and I heard them making comments and stuff, and so I turned around and I said, "You guys, you know what? My license plate works. People stay away from me on the highway. They see an old guy on a crotch rocket, instead of, before I had that AARP license plate, people would see a crotch rocket and right away people think, oh, he's a cocky young buck, and so they would tailgate me and harass me on the highway. As soon as I put this thing on there, people were like, whoa, geez, an elderly guy on a crotch rocket. I'm going to stay away from him. So people would back off as soon as they saw it. So I turned around and I said to the Harley guys, yeah, you guys, you know what? It works great. People stay away from me. And so, yeah, most of you know I'm downsizing, getting rid of crap, obviously, right? Getting ready to go on the road full time in my big trailer, and so I'm going through stuff and tossing stuff and making sure my garbage is full every week when they pick it up, right? Make sure it's full of videos. But then I'm thinking, you guys, I have to sell my motorcycle. And I talked about it in the video that I dumped. But the motorcycle has been a huge part of my life prior to me getting cancer and going through chemo and neuropathy. I'm scared to ride it now. I haven't ridden for a couple of years because I can't feel my feet. And to ride motorcycle, you kind of have to be able to feel your feet. Come up to a stop sign, put your foot down. You have to know that the ground is there, right? Plus, the brake is on the right and the shifter is on the left, and you got to do stuff with your feet. So the poor thing has been sitting in the garage, but I'm like, uh, she was a big part of my life for a long time. In fact, I've had four of these, the Yamaha FZ1, whatever, blah blah blah. And it's not bragging, you guys, but I've had four of them. The first one I test drove and I fell in love with it. It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I used to ride big cruisers, and anyway, um, these bikes are very nimble, and they're just awesome. Yeah, it does wheelies without me asking her to, but I'm gonna have to sell her. Aw, I mean, I loved her, kind of like my dog, right? Well, not anything like my dog, but you get the idea. If has anybody ridden motorcycle? I've had 8 different motorcycles, and by the way, guys, if you're thinking about buying a motorcycle, and well, most of you are in my demographic, so you're probably not. But back in the day, if you're thinking about buying a motorcycle, here's what you do. When you're first married, you just go and get one, and you bring it back to the apartment, and you say, "Honey, I want to show you something. Come outside," and she's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Get on, let's go." And so she did, and we went and had fun, and so it was okay. So yeah, just go ahead and get it and explain it later. Don't ask permission, ask forgiveness, right? So yeah, you guys, it's just one more thing, and I've talked about it before. I'm finding old photos, and it's like, oh yeah, just memories and stuff. And yeah, and by the way, when you see a crotch rocket on the highway and they're all hunched over, I'm going off on a tangent now, a tangent alert. But when you see a crotch rocket on the highway and they're all like slumped over and it looks really uncomfortable, it's not, because our chest our chest is laying on the tank. So we're actually very relaxed and there's no pressure on our hands, right? I've almost fallen asleep a couple times on that thing. It's just like, and you're just laying there watching a movie, kind of, I don't know. It's very relaxing. So anyway, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to sell her this summer, this spring. But oh, I got to take the battery out. Geez, that's not good for the battery to freeze. So just fun fact. Okay, let's keep going. Jeez. Okay, so let me interrupt here for a second. Couple of things. Well, first of all, I was doing editing and I thought of a couple of things, but I had to scratch my back, and so I'm like this, and it's like, oh wow, my bicep looks big. So it's like I got to show you guys that. Sorry. If you're new here, geez, why are you still here? I'm an acquired taste. I'm not for everybody, but if you hang on, there might be some humor. I'm just saying. I don't know. But but I'm editing, you guys, and I thought of a couple of things, and then I'll let you go because this is getting too long because I babbled too much, right? But I was thinking, and most of you know me well enough where I don't brag about stuff, and so talking about my motorcycles, it's not bragging, you guys. It's just I'm pointing toward the garage right now because she is by far my favorite motorcycle out of all of them. Yeah, but just um I've had 4 of this particular model. So I bought one. 3 years later, I upgraded, and then 3 years later, I upgraded. And this is the international sign language for upgrading a motorcycle, right? So, sorry, I do that a lot. But so I'm in my 60s, right? So I've had time to have multiple bikes, right? 8 of them. But I'm not bragging. It's just and on my other channel, I did a video about it's either in your blood or it's not. So if you've ridden motorcycle, you get it, right? And if you haven't, then, it's, just think of something that's been really important to you, and that's kind of what it is. But I mean, with motorcycles, it's different because it's hard to explain, but, the sense of freedom or whatever, kind of that, but not, I don't know. There's just something, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you guys know me. It doesn't, to be honest, it doesn't take much to actually humble me, especially after everything I've been through. Like, okay, let's give Jim another chance at life, right? So, it's humbling. And some of you know what I'm talking about. But especially somebody leaves a comment, Jim, we want another video, please, please, pretty please. It's like, really? I'm just goofy. You really want more of this? Really? That's Kristen, that's like humbling. So thank you. So, and so the second thing I thought of, you guys, is, and we talked about it before, how I'm downsizing, getting ready to sell my house, obviously. I've got some work to do. But, going on the road full time and getting rid of stuff and processing, downsizing. I show you guys photos of my childhood and I tell stories. And, so telling the story, thank you for letting me share how important, motorcycles were in my life, especially this one. Honey, thinking about you. Right? So the psychology is, if you can tell a story about something that you're getting rid of, it's a lot easier to let go, right? Because you've shared the story behind it. Okay, now it's a lot easier to let the thing go or sell it or get rid of it or whatever, because you've, So anyway, thanks you guys. Thanks for letting me to share all the crazy stuff on here. And my longtime viewers, you guys are rolling your eyes like, what is he going to do next? Right? So speaking of, I'm going to cut this off. All right. Yeah, I tend to babble and my videos get to be too long. So, but the good news is we got to 2 things this time instead of just 1 on the last couple of videos, right? So thanks again, you guys. I'll talk to you later. I'll probably end up publishing this, and then I'll just keep working on the next one, right? I'll just keep telling my stories, and we'll get to number 3 and 4 and whatever. I don't know. So thanks for being here. If you're new, thanks for hanging on. I don't know why, but thank you. All right. Talk to you guys later, and have a great day. All right. Okay. Bye. Wow. Geez. Science.